Everyone talks about moving to Colorado Springs. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the state, so it's pretty obvious to see why. However, we're seeing this growing trend of families choosing Monument over Colorado Springs. So Monument sits just 20 minutes north of Colorado Springs, and it's quickly becoming the smarter move. A lot of families are moving up here, and there's 5 major reasons why. Now, the number one reason that people choose Monument over Colorado Springs is obvious. It's the location. Monument is located right between Colorado Springs and Denver, and so it cuts that commute time way down. You're only 45 minutes to downtown Denver, 30 minutes to Denver Tech Center, and still only 20 minutes to the downtown Colorado Springs area. So if you have one spouse that works in Denver and maybe one that works in the Springs, it's the perfect location. And listen, I know what this is like. My wife actually is a pilot out of the Denver International Airport, and we live on the southwest side of Colorado Springs, so we are very familiar with one spouse commuting all that way. And I'm telling you, the difference that it makes to not have to go all the way to the southwest side of Colorado Springs for that commute is a game changer. And it's not just work either. Castle Rock is right up the road. So if you don't want to commit to a full Denver day trip, you've got the outlets, you've got great restaurants. It's a spectacular spot. You're also closer to all of Denver's professional sports, the Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, Broncos, and Red Rocks Amphitheater. And trust me, if you've ever driven home after a midnight show at Red Rocks Amphitheater, you know how much of a difference it makes to be able to stop in Monument instead of going all the way down to the Springs. And here's the kicker. During COVID, a bunch of people moved from Denver down this way, but they didn't necessarily want to go all the way to Colorado Springs. So Monument became just a natural landing point. But once they got here, they realized that it wasn't just the location, it was the schools, the safety, the activities, and just a slower pace of life. And that's what caused people to stay and why Monument's growing. Now, maybe the clearest reason that people choose to live here is because of the homes and the community as a whole. Down in Colorado Springs, a lot of the homes are either newer developments where they're cookie cutter houses and everything looks the same, or just a general feel throughout the majority of Colorado Springs is homes packed very, very tightly together where you feel like you're just looking through your neighbor's window. But Monument is a totally different story. Up here, you have these huge, expansive lots, way more lots that are half acre to an acre plus, and it just feels better. There's more custom homes, there's more space, there's more nature. You have communities like Woodmore, which you have tall, towering pines, Jackson Creek, which is a little bit more family friendly, but still incredible mountain views, and Forest Lakes, which is a community tucked way back into the mountains that feels like its own private community altogether. Now, don't get me wrong, you're gonna pay for it in Monument. The price points are a little bit higher, but what you get for space, quality, and privacy is absolutely worth the investment. I mean, just look at these views out here. Now, families from California definitely feel this because they're used to paying millions of dollars for a postage stamp lot. But out here, that same amount of money can get you that more space and quality of life and privacy that you were looking for. I mean, imagine having space for the kids, the dogs to run around, maybe even a 3-car garage. Now in Monument, it's the sweet spot for not overcommitting to the rural lifestyle, but still getting all those amazing things. Now, if you've got kids, this is where Monument really stands out. Monument is home to Lewis Palmer School District number 38, which is consistently year after year ranked as the top school district in the entire area. And it's for good reason. High graduation rates, top test scores, great sports programs, and always quality teachers. This is a place where the parents say that there's a lot of community involvement and a lot of school pride. Now, don't get me wrong, Colorado Springs has some great school districts as well. You've got Cheyenne Mountain 12, Academy 20, but there's just something about 38. You know, what families really love is that you still get the small town feel while maintaining top-notch academics. Now, don't forget, Colorado is a school choice state, and because of that, a lot of families from Colorado Springs still opt and try to select themselves into Lewis Palmer 38. That's how good of a school district this really is. Now, you know, I'm not gonna shy away from any topics just because they're a little bit uncomfortable or difficult to speak about. And this is one of the things that people have the biggest concern about with Colorado Springs is growing crime and homelessness. Now, let me be clear about something. Even still, Colorado Springs is very safe compared to most cities across the United States. However, all growing cities have their own challenges, and one of them is growing crime in some neighborhoods and more visible homelessness in the downtown area. Monument is totally different. I mean, I'm literally in the downtown area and it's so quiet, it's so safe. There's way less crime up here. And obviously basically no visible homelessness. I know that is really hard to say, but that's just what you experience sometimes in the downtown Colorado Springs area. And it's a big deal up here because as a parent, you just feel a lot safer letting your kids just bike to a friend's house or enjoy places like Monument Lake or Palmer Lake in areas outside without worrying that something's gonna happen. And look, I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. It's just that when families are choosing where they're gonna live, peace of mind is one of the reasons that they choose Monument over Colorado Springs time and time again. Now, the last and maybe most obvious reason that people choose Monument over Colorado Springs is just the lifestyle. You know, Colorado Springs is just starting to get super busy. There's way more traffic. It's really spread out. There's construction everywhere, and it's starting to kind of lose that small town feel, but Monument has really held on to it. The lifestyle here is a slower pace. We're out here at Monument Lake, and this is a place you can see there's like 10 people out here in the afternoon fishing. Here in Monument, you're gonna find all these small town touches that people just fall in love with. You've got Saturday morning farmers markets, 4th of July parade down Main Street. You've also got coffee shops that are small and local where the baristas know your name, and there's community events all the time in Monument. The people in Monument are proud to be from Monument and not Colorado Springs. But the thing is when you move here, you're not giving up convenience just by not being in Colorado Springs. You've got grocery stores, restaurants, gyms, shopping, all right here in Monument. Now, if you need anything else, Colorado Springs is less than 20 minutes away, so it's easy to get to. But for families moving from Texas, California, or even Denver, the slower pace of life in Monument is what really draws people in, because when you come back to Monument, no matter where you go shopping, it just feels like a reset. The truth is, Monument isn't right for everybody. If you're looking for something that has a little bit more energy and things going on, Colorado Springs might actually be for you. But Monument is for those that want more space, more peace, and more balance. So let's hear it in the comments. You prefer Colorado Springs or Monument?